Yo, Shortbox Nation, welcome to a special bonus episode specifically meant for you patrons, but I might put this one out if that interview and all this planning falls through. All right, I don't want to leave our listeners out. I'm sorry, I don't want to leave our listeners dry for another week. So I might put this previews episode out for everyone to listen to, but patrons, you're getting this episode regardless because we fucking love you guys, right? You guys support us. And you guys are the best supporters a podcast like ours could ask for. You know the deal by now. Me and my right-hand man, Mr. Andrew Torres. I'm going to give him a round of applause because he made the impossible happen, Got tied up at work, bartender life. Didn't think he was going to make it. But you know what? He had me in the first.
I'm all the way up.
All right, folks, you know how it is. Every month we've got another colossal previews to go through. Here's what this March's previews catalog looks like. Another 600-page beast. Me and Drew went ahead and flipped through it. We found the coolest stuff.
Only 3 pages worth of stuff, and not even 3 pages. Well, some of those are.
I got a few more.
You got a few?
We got to combine 10 pages.
Yeah. All right, we'll see.
All right, yo, I'm telling you, my list is strong. All right, I'm running. Watch. You feel me? You feel me? You feel me? All right. So once again, we're bringing you the best of the best. This is our Shortbox approved wish list of the coolest comics, merch, toys, and everything else that piqued our interest. We were trying to go live studio audience today, but we started a little late, so my apologies once again. But it's going to be a good episode regardless. All right, so here we go. We're going to go ahead and talk about these previews right here. I highly advise, by the way, because if I do put this out in audio form, I want to go ahead and mention that the video form is probably your best viewing experience for this, because there's a lot of visuals to this episode, but we make the audio worthwhile as well. All right, Drew, let's go ahead and start off with the let's get the Marvel and DC previews out the way. Was there anything that piqued your interest in the Marvel previews?
No.
Nothing at all.
Nothing.
128 pages.
Nothing. Nothing.
Zilch.
Nada. Nothing.
Get out of
It's
here.
all new number ones, man. It's all new number ones, and I haven't caught up or read any of that stuff. And honestly, at this point, I really do not care. I really do not care.
So this new Avengers team up
I don't
lineup.
care. What are they gonna do? Another threat? Oh,
you know what? When I saw this
another threat from beyond,
I swear I was like, these preview images.
It's always going to be somebody that's going to be some sort of kaiju big monster. They're all going to come together, make jokes, and we need the Avengers. It's
what type of Avengers stories do you want to see?
I just, like I said, I told you in the living room, Avengers is it's a team book. So they should treat it like the Marvel MCU, where it's the Avengers are only needed when there's a big event. Big event. That should be the, when it's we're having a big event. Okay, that should when the Avengers should be going on.
You're right. Because, on a regular case-by-case basis, it's what threat do you put against them that would keep your attention for, month after month?
Over and over and over again. It's crazy, the fact that, we're at this time right now where there's just so much story, and it's all right, I really don't care anymore.
Damn, my man is out here marveled out. He's a
dude. Yeah, I've gotten to the point. Yo, I'm marveled out and DC'd out.
That's fair enough.
And I'm so far removed. That's how I know that I've gotten sold. I've gotten at this age. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I don't know who's who. There's another Carnage event. Another one.
Yeah, they just got done with
another one. We just did Absolute Carnage, and they're like, oh, we should do it again.
Bro, I guess symbiote sell, man. All right, so I'm gonna go to inject some positivity in this, because I will admit this Carnage Reigns Alpha #1 kind of looks pretty cool. I'm not familiar with this artist, Julius Ota, and I'm okay.
Looks good.
I'm okay, trying out or finding a new artist or writer to hop on. Preview image-wise, looks dope, and it's centered around Miles.
Cool.
Kind of piques my interest, right?
Nice.
I'll say that. The previews, at least, the previews are doing his job, where I'm like, okay, that looks pretty interesting.
The only thing that is worth, that I think is going to be worth anything, and it's not even in the previews, they announced it, was the Jonathan Hickman's coming back to write Ultimates.
Oh, I can't wait for that. You already know I'm on.
That's what I'm saying. So that's the only thing that's really, really awesome.
All right, I'm going to say this Daredevil and Echo series.
Oh, okay.
Phil Noto, man, artist and cover artist as well.
So it's going to look like just a beautiful book.
It's going to be a beautiful book. And it hopefully look. I'm assuming by
once again, Daredevil meets a girl that he's going to smash, and then basically have just moral
dilemmas
Just
with.
the dilemmas with. Like, I don't know. She kills people. If I let her kill people, will that man just as guilty? Yeah.
Kind of mad, but you know, he's like, you know, maybe if I stop a few drug dealers, it will like square out.
He's such a Catholic.
All right, let's see. So yeah, I'm gonna say the Phil Noto part. I'll be honest, when it comes to these previews, a lot of times I usually look for familiar names, and in this case, it's Phil Noto, and he can't.
Yeah,
really
what's
do
that
no
writer?
wrong, man. Taboo and B. Earl. So I'm assuming that is a duo there. It'd be my first introduction.
I would hope that the fact that, like, all right, you're gonna write the Daredevil parts, and I'm gonna write the Echo parts.
All right, so things that peeked out to me on this one: Phil Noto, Demo Goblin is in it, and I feel like I have not read something with Demo Goblin personally in a hot minute, and it's Daredevil. So I'd probably give it #1 shot.
All right,
and then just going strictly off of just because the cover looks cool.
Oh shit!
Invincible Iron Man 656.
That's actually pretty cool looking.
Dude, that looks pretty badass. All right,
That does look badass. What's happening?
I'm just saying. All right, that's pretty much everything in the Marvel one. Was there anything in? I'm sure you.
Hell no.
Let me guess. Hell
Nope.
no, right?
Not at all. I just want to say one thing.
Hit it. So so the fact that
This is what makes me mad.
hit it.
You had Cyborg, who's part of the Justice League.
That he is.
He is like, they've tried to like make him like a dope ass person, like leader born, everything. I just like, I think at some point Cyborg needs to be the leader.
Yeah,
And the fact that they just give it to fucking, what's that called? Nepotism? What's it called? That's nepotism, right? Where it's just like, yo, if your family is like really, really cool, like you get the position.
He's had this spot. Nightwing's had this spot from day one.
Fuck out of here, man.
It would be
like,
cool for them to switch.
They're calling it, all right.
So the fact that this would be a perfect, like, all right, you're saying that you're kind of lost when it comes to like DC Marvel. You're not really sure what's going on.
They've done so much shit. They have done so much stuff right now. Like there's like you can't keep control of it.
Okay.
Like there's no continuity whatsoever. Everything is going on at the same time right now.
Fair enough. Now,
Lazarus, this bullshit. Whatever
Dawn
the
of
next
DC
bullshit
is supposedly I mean, I think this will come out once all of that stuff's ended. I think this is supposed to be a fresh start.
Fresh start.
So
So
I know we've lived through a few fresh starts, but nothing about, because I mean, I know that you've been reading or you were reading the Nightwing Tom Taylor series.
Yeah.
Highly acclaimed, right? People are loving
Really
that
good.
Tom Taylor series.
not really hard to write Tom Taylor. I'm not really hard to write Nightwing.
True. But would you consider giving the fact that Tom Taylor is writing a team book and it's Nicholas Scott? I don't know. I'm looking at these number ones.
Like, here's the thing. At that point, I just don't care. I really just don't care. And it's like, what are they gonna do?
Okay. All right. I respect the vibes.
Another Green Lantern #1.
Yeah, but dude, here's the thing. We can get mad at it, but it
Stupid.
is what it is. These are heroes that will never die, right?
All right.
But I am willing to give this a shot because my man Zermanico is drawing it and new writer. So I mean, for me, right? Like, if there was ever a time for me to jump into Green Lantern or want to see what's going on with it, it would have to be like this Dawn of DC type stuff, right? The fact that it's a new #1 and I mean, to your point, it is kind of like, continuity to me, I don't really put a lot of emphasis on anymore. If there's an opportunity for me to jump in on Green Lantern and I don't have to worry about like what the hell.
When was the last Green Lantern
on?
series you read besides the Far Sector one?
That would be the last one.
That was the last one?
Yeah. So, okay, fair enough. And
Hal
last
Jordan's
one.
the greatest Green Lantern. Get the fuck out of here.
Who's your favorite one?
My favorite Green Lantern? Guy Gardner.
Okay, fair enough. All right, I'm going to say Batman Brave and Bold, man. You can't go wrong with this.
Who's writing that?
Oh, so this is basically Batman Black and White, but with like in color and I think more stories. So I think they're going to have an ongoing running series with Tom King. Tom King is obviously writing one.
I want to make Batman Mexican. With how many jobs that he has,
that motherfucker
like that's out here just doing that jobs. Like, I want a Mexican Batman. That's what I need. I feel like it's more
Batman
believable.
had that worldwide team.
International, the Incorporated. It's still going around. Batman Incorporated.
He had to have a Mexican or Spanish representative, right?
El Batman.
He had a Morocco dude on there. I was pretty.
The free runner guy.
Yeah, the parkour dude.
Yeah,
parkour.
Parkour.
Yeah.
I should be Batman because I like parkour.
So, all right, I will say, I think out of all three, Batman Brave and the Bold, I'm actually definitely gonna get, because this is a case of like easy purchase, right? It probably won't last more than maybe 10 issues. I'll say 12, but it's all gonna be short stories. It's like multiple flavors. I get Tom King. I get a Dan Moore
anthology
story.
story.
Come on, man, you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if we can get into some stuff that you are hype about. All right, I feel the energy when it comes to Marvel DC. And for the record, I want it to be known that the few previews, I'm sorry, this is what our 5th, 6th previews, every time you were like, yo, we got to cover Marvel, Badr. We got to cover Marvel. And I think that was when you were in your big Marvel bag.
Oh, yeah, I'm still in my big Marvel bag.
You just said that you weren't reading a Marvel.
Oh, like old Marvel bag.
Okay.
Like I'm just reading all the classic Marvel bags and stuff.
What's the last classic Marvel? When you talk about your classic
Dude,
Marvel
I've been
bag,
running through Nick Spencer's Spider-Man.
How old is that's not that old?
It's not that old, but it's so funny that like, back in the day, people were like shitting. They're like, okay, I'm only gonna say this. Do you remember like in any job or yeah. Like you're at a job, you finally figured out your whole work, you're like, all right, cool. And then your boss leaves and you're like, fuck, I'm getting a new boss.
Yep.
Is this person going to be a piece of shit or going to be cool? Because it can always get worse. Like,
That it can.
especially like if you work at a shitty job and you're like, oh my God, I can't wait till. And then you meet somebody else that sucks. The funny thing was like, people hated Nick Spencer's Spider-Man so much. And it's so funny to be like, Zeb Wells like, oh man, listen, I will fuck it up for you even further.
You know, it's funny.
I don't even know what's going on. I just know for a fact that Reddit hates Zeb Wells.
And isn't it funny that Zeb Wells and John Romita Jr.'s Spider-Man was supposed to be like, hey,
that's it.
This is us making up for
all the stuff. We heard you. And then like
I feel like Spider-Man is kind of like a
Spider-Man's like now like to the point where
he's a hard fucking goddamn character, right?
Yeah, 100% because of the fact that they've done so much with him, and there's like nobody knows exactly what makes him like dope.
Damn, Nick Spencer was writing a lot of.
He was doing some really good stuff
until. Damn, so he was pretty much writing.
He wrote Sinister Six too, or Sinister War.
So he got off when it became Spider-Man Beyond. So his last issue, I guess, was 72. So he had a good, he had a very solid long run.
And he still had plans of doing stuff that he wanted to do, but then.
Well, do you think, because something that you're really good at is you weren't, I'm assuming you weren't buying all of these as they were coming.
No,
out.
I have them. I have them all. Spider-Man is one of those characters where like I won't read it for a long time, but I will still buy it because it's amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's fair. And I guess that's why when I hear you like just completely exhausted with Marvel, I'm like, yo, this is Drew's cycle. This is like he's not interested in Marvel right now, but months from now, I can see you being like,
oh, it's actually pretty good. I made a mistake.
You're gonna be like, you know what we don't talk about on the show enough is not a DC.
Yeah,
I'm like,
bro.
you motherfucker,
you son of a bitch.
But I'm curious. I'm going to be curious when, because the Zeb Wells run is gonna end at some point, and you're right.
It seems like it is. Like honestly, like I have no idea when it's because it's still like it's still in its inception. Yeah, it's like 20. Yeah. They give those dudes like 50 issues to kind of write their whole thing.
You're right. And
people are hating
it. Does feel like every issue. And you know, man, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if Spider-Man is a hard character to write or if they just haven't found the right writer.
No, here's the thing. He is a hard character to write.
Like you got 60, you're fighting against 60 years.
60 years and then like his entire bag of people. Like, because anytime Spider-Man's met somebody, like they stay in his life. Yeah. Like he's just very much one of those like charismatic, like awesome dudes. Kill Aunt May. Just kill Aunt May.
And I will say current Spider-Man writers or, fans, people that are buying Amazing Spider-Man every month, they care about those minor characters and they really like have the continuity locked in. Like you know how many times I've seen people complain about these smallest side characters story arc or them undoing things. I just imagine like fulfilling your dream of Marvel being like, hey, we want you to write a book, and they're like, you can make a pick. Would you pick Spider-Man as a writer? Would you
No.
You'd be like, I'm playing it safe.
I don't even want to try. Honestly, not playing it safe. Like it would be honestly a dream. Like, oh fuck yeah, that'd be the. But no, there's no way. Because here's the thing. I feel like with Spider-Man, they would have so many rules. Like you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this. It's like, all right, no. Like give me somebody else. Like give me something that like completely different, and like I'm gonna try to build them up.
I'd say there are fans that would tell you that apparently there is no rules when it comes to Spider-Man with how much they fucking change and do things with him.
So the thing is, like, yo, and then also that's the thing too, is like Marvel sees like, oh man, like it sells. Like, just keep doing it. Like, let's make the Spider-Verse. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
You don't need to be doing that much.
Man, we definitely got into our old guy comic head bag right there. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the main previews and see. We'll start off with your list, man. I was pretty excited when you sent your screen grab. So let's start off with the first one that is on your list, which is on page 53 of the digital previews. Arcade Kings, which is also the cover. The cover title image. All right, so tell me about this one. What grabbed your eye about it?
It just like, listen, from a looking standpoint, it's a beautiful looking cover.
It does look cool.
It says Arcade Kings, so you have a lot of stuff that just jumps out to me. It reminds me of like Viewfield Joe.
Yes,
it's called Arcade Kings, and we know like we're from that generation of like how much like we love a good arcade. Like, I love a good arcade.
I was honestly going to bring up to you that we should go hit up Keg and Coin at some point.
I would definitely hit up Keg and Coin.
Because I want to play Marvel's Capcom on the cabinet. That's what I want to play right
on the cabinet.
On the cabinet.
So like, yeah, that really takes from me, because it's like, oh, okay, like I don't even care what it's going to be about. It can be one of those ridiculous things, but at some point where it's going to take place in the arcade, and like whatever story it is, it kind of reminds me like almost like an Ready Player One.
Yeah. So what do they describe it here on previews? For fans of Invincible and Murder Falcon, where both of those. Are you familiar with the creative team at all? You got writer-artist Dylan Burnett, who's written Ant-Man and Cosmic Ghost Rider. And then
Walter.
Oh no, it's same. It's writer and artist Dylan Burnett. So he's doing interior. He's writing and doing it.
No, I'm not familiar with him at all. But this is one of the books where, like, if I saw this, I would definitely give it I would pick it up.
Because these the
colors look amazing.
The preview art is awesome.
Everything about it looks, and it's a Skybound, so you know it's gonna be good.
Come on, man, quality. Skybound to me, if I see that, that's what I'm saying. It's like this has a few things working for it. It's an image number one. And it's from the Skybound imprint, and it's like the cover of previews. Previous to me, man, they choose some good covers.
Looks like Black Radiant and Viewful Joel had a baby.
Very good. All right, that's a good way to start. Yeah, that was on my
the color. And here's the thing: the art looks crisp, and like the colors, like everything about that just pops. So yeah, it's definitely one of those where it's going to be an easy cop. Will I go further? I don't know, but it's definitely one of those. I will read it, issue number one.
I'm in my video game bag lately, man. Like. You mentioned like you just kind of being dissuaded from the big two. I have been. I repeat this every chance I get, but I have been on my indie publisher grind and way more video games as of lately. So if this comic book scratches best of both of those worlds, I'm in for it. So that might be something I actually stick out. So all right, let's see what else is on your list. That was a good way to begin.
Thanks, Ed.
Item number 2, Disney Villains Maleficent issue 1.
Bro, listen.
When I tell you, when I was scrolling through the previews and I seen these cover, I was like, I will. I
can't believe I'm at that stage right now. I'm a grown ass man and I'm just excited about Disney covers. You know what I'm talking about? Like, yeah. What about Marvel? What about DC? Nah, fuck that. Give me that Disney princess money.
Yeah. Disney Villains Maleficent issue 1.
I don't even know what it's about, but that cover's so hard.
Another writer-artist combo, Sue Lee, is the writer and artist, and it looks good, man.
Maleficent is just very misunderstood villain.
Is this the third? Because last month you picked the Scar. It's
nothing but Disney.
With Scar, and then the month before
Gargoyles. Gargoyles. No, so it goes first Gargoyles, second Darkwing Duck, third Scar. Fourth, Maleficent. What do you think is going to be the fifth one? If you had to pick a fifth Disney book that they're going to like, oh, we're going to try to like...
It's been villains lately. So that's been the trend these last...
Probably Hades.
That's good.
Like Hades?
Fuck, that's good.
Like a Hercules comic book?
All right,
like
I'm going to say, I think the next... Even though we probably could look this up, this is way funner.
I'm not going to...
I think the next Disney villains book to be featured in previews.
We got Scar. We got Melissa. We got an animal, and then we got...
I'm going to say Ursula.
Ursula?
From Little Mermaid.
Under the Sea. All right, little Namor over there. Little Namor.
Yeah, I might Namor.
Oh, yo, I hope they rewrite. I hope they rewrite Ursula in like a Mexican character. Like they call me Ursula.
All right, let's take a look at the interior art by Sue Lee. I'm sold. The interior art is just as good as the exterior because it's done by the same person. Now that looks good. That looks really good. All right, you're on a strong run.
Thanks.
And here's the thing:
there wasn't much to offer. We had over 600 pages.
Man, you make it. I don't know, man. You make it seem like
maybe I'm just trying to save money.
Yeah, that's.
You know, here's the thing. I just wanted it on the Crow. Like, what if they just start doing all their like? The next one's just like sidekicks. It's gonna be the Crow, the two eels from Ursula,
Disney villain.
Like,
sidekicks,
Disney villain sidekicks. It's like, what's it like being a henchman? Like Iago, the two eels.
All right, that was your second pick.
The dog from Pocahontas.
Let's take a look at your third pick on page 189. Disney Gargoyles, issue 6.
Bro, I can't believe I was like, yo, Gargoyles it's just been fun.
So, okay, and I wanted to bring this up because I have found since doing these preview episodes,
issue 3 came out too. I still haven't read it, but I've read issue 1 and 2.
I have I would say if I have 10 things on my list, at least 2 of those things I have purchased or put on my pull list. And I know for you, Gargoyles was one that you highlighted when it made its debut in whatever 2 or 3 previews ago. And you've been a pretty loyal. It's been on your poll, right?
Yeah, definitely been on my polls. It's been fun. It's been cool. I wonder if we're gonna get it a year from now. If they're gonna be like season 5 Gargoyles coming out. Like, I'm okay with not that, but this is actually pretty good. I like the fact that this is a pretty good medium.
Yeah, Gargoyles.
There's a lot. There's a lot that's happening that I truly don't understand, but I'm still I'm still reading it and following it.
Yeah.
The artwork is really, really good. The pacing is definitely good, and it honestly just feels like I'm reading a issue from a cartoon episode.
I know that you are a cover A, fucking fanatic. Like you are a loyalist to the original cover. Do you ever want to try any of these other covers for Gargoyles?
Yeah, because here's the thing: the Jay Lee one looks good. The Amanda Connor ones are really, really fun. The ones that are just like a solid purple and it's gargoyle purple, like that's the one I want. But some of them are very good.
Purple is such a cool
my
color.
Favorite. Yeah, like listen, go to Home Depot. Yes, sir. How can I help you? Yo, I want to paint my walls. You got that gargoyle purple? We got the bear.
I want my room to look like Goliath.
His dick. I want to look like Goliath's dick.
I want it to look like Goliath just threw up everywhere. All right, I want it straight purple. And your boy Brooklyn is on the cover for issue 6. I know why you picked it. I know you are.
Oh, that is a sick cover, man.
It's sick. I'll give you that. All right, you got a strong little list. All right, and you got one more. So you went with 4. You decided to go with an even.
Yeah,
all right.
with
one toy. All right, fair enough.
And it's not even for me. I picked this for you.
Man.
Come on, man.
I paused when
Dude,
all right, well,
when I saw that, it took everything for me not to call you. I'm going to see him later.
It took everything for me not to call you about the same book that you were flipping through. All right, so item number 4 on your list is Final Fantasy Tactics Bring Arts action figures. So actual action figures of these.
Where's your action figure at? Where's your Final Fantasy?
I guarantee you the one I have is somewhere over there.
I know it's somewhere over there, but like I've seen it before because you've had it. But it's like, where do you keep it?
But he's not as nice as this one of these, though.
Oh, that's life size.
If I may be honest, I will admit, as much as I love Final Fantasy Tactics, I've never played the original, and I know these characters are based on the originals: Ramza, Delita, Agrias. So I kind of want to see if I can find like an updated version. What do you think is the most updated version? Like a PlayStation 3 one? You think there's a
for Final Fantasy Tactics?
Yeah,
I would honestly say probably like a Game Boy, like a Nintendo, like either a DS or something. Actually, I would say DS. Probably the Game Boy Advance is like where the last one they did the Final Fantasy Tactics.
Because I've played Final, and I love Final Fantasy A2, which was Advance 2. All right, can I take a guess at which one I think you probably like the most out of these 3?
Which one?
Is it Delita?
Yep.
Yeah, I had a clue. That's a sick. Now these figures are super nice. All right, that's a good little lineup. Let me go and crack my fingers. You ready for mine?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's see if I can impress you, all right? Because, you be coming in here hot at first, but then by the time we start...
talking about angry or hot?
Well, when we start with the Marvel DC previews, like you've asked me so many times, and then by the time we get here, you cool off. But let me see if I can't impress you. All right. The first item up on my list in the main previews is on page 241 if you're looking at a digital edition. And that is
oh my god.
a manga called Centaurs Volume 1. It is written and drawn by Ryo Sumiyoshi. And it's exactly as you would imagine. I mean, it's kind of sticks to the title. It is a manga about centaurs set in an epic fantasy adventure setting. I'm going to just read the a little bit of the solicitation because I was like, sign me the fuck up. So it reads, an epic fantasy adventure set in an alternate medieval Japan where humans coexist with the mythic half-man, half-horse beasts known as centaurs or jinba. The centaur race were long revered as deities in ancient times. However, in the advent of the Sengoku, Warring States period, humans started to enslave and use them for military purposes due to their speed, stamina, and ability to communicate in human language. Pause right there. That alone, you're like, God damn, humans also would enslave fucking centaurs. But when you find out, like, God damn, yeah, they're fast, they're strong, they're stamina, and you could talk to them. Those are, I mean, those are solid. I don't know. That's a solid reason. Like,
like if your friend was a centaur, would you ride him? Like, is that disrespectful? Like, yo, how do you bring that up?
That is disrespectful.
He's like, hey man, we have to go to the land. You're like, oh, well, listen.
You might as well be calling that centaur a derogatory term. That is like that riding.
Can you give me a ride? Like, how do you ask a centaur to ride them?
All right, now here's the thing. What if you spent your whole, your entire, you've known this centaur guy for like 5 years. You guys are tight, and you've never asked him for a ride because you know how he feels about it.
Yeah.
One day you guys are hiking, you trip, you break your ankle or something.
Okay.
Do you send him for help, or are you like, yeah, let me just ride you. Let me just ride you real quick.
Here's the thing: do you ride on top of him like leg over leg, or are you doing one of those?
Oh,
like,
we put both legs on one side.
Yeah. Do you are you riding him and holding on his hair,
or
are you like
at least shoulders?
You know how like when somebody's like passed out and you like put him like draped over, like how do you go? Like, yo, do I drape over you or do I climb on you?
I got you.
Here's
but anyway,
a sugar cube.
God damn! You don't deserve a centaur as a friend. You would definitely piss them off. But I won't read the rest of the solicitation. Just know that it centers around a very proud centaur. That's a redhead. He's known as the redheaded.
Even worse.
Look,
a redheaded.
A wild
centaur?
and proud warrior jinba from the mountains named Matsukaze, known as the redhead rock tiger, is caught while protecting his son. He is traded to a feudal lord and taken to his land, where he meets another centaur named Kohibari, whose village was burned down as a child. He's a tame centaur who had his arms amputated when he was captured. What the fuck? And has given up hope of escaping his human captors. If they can get over their differences and work together, they might be able to return to the wild as free centaurs.
Free centaurs.
And then look at the interior art. You can't tell me this don't look badass.
Okay. Well, let me ask you a question right now. If if they start doing a love story between a centaur and a female, are you gonna keep reading, or like, would you tell me about it?
Oh, dude, I'm not just telling you about it. I'm doing the guided panel view, and I'm screenshotting every single steamy love scene.
So you're like, oh man.
Yeah, Drew, read this in order. All right.
Okay.
All right. So, that's just my warm up, right? Little centaur action.
Cool. I like it.
All right. Next up, my next pick is one of these Joe Jusko Art of the 1992 Marvel Masterpiece hardcover books. There's a hardcover version that is affordable and reasonable at $59, and then a crazy expensive signed hardcover that's got Silver Surfer on the cover for like $330. It's like, where the fuck did you guys get the price differences?
Hey,
Whatever.
Man, signatures are expensive, and it's for
it's true.
It's Joe Jusko.
Joe Jusko, man. So it's essentially all of his artwork. From the 1992, the epic classic Marvel Masterpiece, a box set, in full. So it's 104 paintings. So all of those cards and paintings they did for that card series are on full display. I think this is a much bigger book. It's actually only 8x11. That's not
an art book. Like, I do like art books, but that is like a signed hardcover.
Yeah, I don't care.
No, there's two hardcovers. One's
that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
One
I
is
thought you said
regular
soft cover.
One is a regular hardcover with Hulk on the cover. The other one's Silver Surfer and signed, and that's $325.
Oh, but here's the thing, like, do you claim yourself to be the biggest Marvel fan?
What if I just bought the $60 book and just waited to get it signed by him?
What if you tried that shit? Like, yo, we go to Heroes Con, he's there. You're like, I'm not going to try to get a signed. And he looked at me, he goes,
oh, you thought you was the only one?
Yeah. And then you find out that there's like there was like a disclaimer like on the back of the book, like, yo, if you ever bring this up, I'm allowed to rip it out in front of you.
And here's the thing: there's people online like, hey, and I'm
hey,
like,
man, listen, you should have read everything. I thought you said you liked that book.
You're right. I probably would hate Joe Jusko right there in that spot. All right, but anyways, this book will include all 104 of the paintings Joe produced for the book, as well as the 20 additional paintings created for the 4-issue comic collection.
Nice.
So it's just gonna have.
What's stopping me from basically printing all this shit out and making a zine?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing except a motherfucking cease and desist and them Disney CIA agents.
Not if it's a zine. I'm like, bro, it's a zine, man.
I don't think you can just print exactly that. I think you got to do a little bit of, you know, add some flair, originality. All right. So next up on my list, item number 3 is on page 335 of the.
I feel like at the end of the episodes, if we keep doing this, we should just add up like our entire total of champions.
Actually, I mean, I got a running list, so I could do something like that. All right, item number 3 on page 335 of the digital version. Captain America, the Ghost Army hardcover.
Okay.
It's a novel, right? Just a regular novel, $25. It's written by Alan Grant's, art by Brent Schoonover. I think I'm saying that right. And the solicitation is what... So, first of all, the cover is what got me. That cover looks awesome. And you know I love, like, Captain America's OG
He's
suit.
like, you know how much I love people standing with shield in their hand. Oh, I know.
That's good. You're like, yeah, buddy, you get a fucking hard on.
Yeah.
You love Centaurs.
That's why I haven't taken you frisbee golf, because I know for a fact you just be like, oh, can you throw it? Like, nah, I'm just gonna stand here for a minute.
Look heroic right here. You're like, now imagine a Centaur holding his shield. You horny boy.
So it's a hardcover book. Is it original?
Yeah, here, I'll read the solicitation.
Oh, I hope he's actually
in this thrilling historical adventure set during World War II. Steve Rogers, a.k.a. Captain America,
a.k.a.
sidekick Bucky Barnes encounter threat like they've never seen, a ghost army. The dead of this war and wars past are coming back to life, impervious to bullets, flames, or anything else the Allies can throw at them. The armies rise from the ground in the night and seem to disappear without a trace. How can Cap and Bucky fight something that's already dead? And just what does the mysterious Baron Moto sitting in his castle top nearby Wundagore Mountain have to do with this? All of that sounds pretty interesting. It's a novel, you know, original novel. You know it's going to have a beginning, middle, end, and a payoff.
Oh, is that how novels work?
Yes, that is how novels work. Which brings me to a question. With your book reading ass and your audio,
my book having ass,
and your audio book listening ass as well. Have you ever tried Have you tried checking out like any of the Marvel or DC original?
Yes, 100%. Okay. A lot of them
you shook your head very hard at that.
No. Yes, because there's a couple of them that have come out. There's a Black Widow one. There's a Miles Morales one. I remember doing the X-Men Gifted one that was written by oh my god, I think it's John Cassidy. Not John Cassidy. Who wrote it? Oh my god. It's X-Men Gifted. I want to say, who's the dude that's like canceled now? He wrote Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and he did
Josh Whedon?
Yeah, I think Josh Whedon wrote it. But there's like a bunch of them. If you actually, Hoopla has a bunch of the Marvel ones. They have a Loki one. They have a bunch of them. And yes, I have listened to them. The ones that have been really, really fun, off the beaten path, of all the Hellboy ones. The Hellboy audiobooks are really, really fun.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad I brought this up. And it looks like I missed it, but Zach Almer was out here hanging out with us in the chat. I don't know if he's still here with us, but Zach, appreciate you hopping on. All right, so that was item number what? That was my number 3.
Item number 674.
Going once, going twice. All right, item number 4 is on page 404, and it is this random Here Comes Calico issue 1 comic. I mean, I was just scrolling through this page. That cover just looks badass. Whatever this character is, look at him. He's got a fucking cat on his chest.
Yeah, he looks like Black Panther.
And then read this. Check this out. So it's written by H.H. German, art by Javier Orobich, and the solicitation is short and sweet. There was once a man walking around the streets of New York City with big guns and a skull on his chest. Wonder who that could be. Hector Gill makes him look like Gandhi. The Calico gets intel on people who abuse and slaughter animals. He puts an end to it permanently. Explicit content, mature themes. 1 of 8 issues, 24-page comic book, and best part, $2.99. This shit looks fucking badass. Like, and then that solicitation is hard,
like,
bro.
It's like, what do you want to write? It's like, yo, Black Panther met the Punisher. But then he was like, he
It's
also
Jane
just
Foster.
loved animals. Like,
Yeah.
yo, it's like Kraven the Hunter fucked Black Panther and then had a baby with
You're right.
the Punisher.
Yeah, you're right.
It's almost like the Phantom. It reminds me of the Phantom. Like
this
an
cover is
old,
badass.
It is pretty
dude.
cool.
It's very, yeah, you're right. It gives off a pulpy vibe. for
very
sure.
pulpy vibe. So like, I would be interested to see what the interior is, because is the cover the same as the artist? Because that's how they get you. That's
You know
how
what?
they
I
get
just
you.
noticed that third name, CA cover artist, Garnay.
Yeah, that's insane.
Oh,
So
I
you
hope
gotta
it
look
says
at the
good.
other guy and see what it says.
Right,
Probably
right.
just stick figures. Stick figures, just like, and like a matter
Really
of like,
badly drawn cat.
really
Meow.
bad. It is not even like, there's not even a panel. It's just like a panel. It is a panel, but it describes what's in the panel.
All right, let's hope that hopefully we don't say any shit talk. I just typed in Javier Orabich Calico. Let's see what it looks like. Please, for the love of God, show me some interior. Show me some interior.
Let me ask you a question. If you saw this book while you were walking around HeroesCon, would you have picked this up?
Hell yeah.
That book right there?
Yeah. I don't know if that's his interior art. Okay. I don't know. I'll save judgment until I have it in hand. Okay. All right. Next up, item number 4 on page 459.
Item number 2004.
Whole page spread. Look at that, boy. Look at that, man. Street Fighter 6, issue 1. There's a cover by Shinkiro. I'm going to just be real with you. I know
Shakiro.
Street Fighter comics, the last few series that I was collecting, story-wise, left much to be desired. Art-wise, fantastic. The major, biggest selling point about this issue 1 for this new Street Fighter series is the fact that issue 1 has art by Bingus. That is going to blow my mind. The fact that we are getting interior comic book artwork by Bingus, a.k.a. the guy that is responsible for a majority of the artwork that you've seen in Marvel vs. Capcom. All of and Marvel's Capcom 2 specifically. All of that, those loading screens, just the art style and period is inspired by Bingus, Shinkiro, and all that. And the fact we're getting him doing interior art makes me so fucking excited. So 48 pages for this first issue of Street Fighter 6 based on the new game coming out with a cover by Shinkiro.
Did you have the beta of that game?
I did.
I played any of it?
Yeah, I played because I played it with my brother Joe.
Are you excited about it or least excited about it?
Bro, can I just say I definitely feel like an old man when it comes to Street Fighter.
Yeah, I feel so
that I
old.
still to this day prefer like the 2D. You know, like
Yeah.
I don't
You're
know.
Like, yeah, I'm a classic. I like a classic.
It's an art preference, but I will say this might be the one I try to get into as far as like playing it and being up to date.
Yeah, it
with
feels like I like the fact that they're like, oh, you get to play as your own player. Like you're like, yo, I want to. It's like
It is pretty cool.
Like the Madden games or the NBA 2K, where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, this feels like Street Fighter 2K. Where
Yeah.
you're like, oh, all right.
Wow, we got. You know, I checked in the chat real quick. We got our guy Trey Namo on here. Y'all out here hanging out with the Adult Swim hour of the podcast.
I wish we had some like really good, some hip hop. Bing, 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 bing.
Yeah. All right, wait. Trey says the Blink cover will be a killer at cons for the Street Fighter. You know what?
Oh, yo, who would you get, Trey? Like, what would be your like, yo, you go, you can pick the artist and you can pick the character. Hell yeah, I can give you, like, yo, pick 2 characters fighting. Who would be the 2 characters you want to see fight?
Do they have to be in Street Fighter? Because I would just
Go
word
ahead.
vomit right
Just
now.
go ahead. Go for vomit.
Akuma and Darkseid.
Oh, I like that
That'd
one.
be kind of tight.
Have you caught up? Like, so how far is your? I wouldn't say intelligence, but what am I trying to say? Like,
Continuity?
continuity for like for Street Fighter. Have you gotten to any of the Dark Ken stuff?
Dude, man, that's a good question. I've recently had the bug to go back and reread all the Udon comic.
And here's
Street Fighter
the thing,
comics?
you would not be wrong. They have like they're really fun. It's like it's a good series. It's like you don't have to exercise your brain to
No,
it.
it's a fucking action movie.
Yeah, it's like, what are you gonna do? Like, what happened? And Bison's about to take over the world.
Well-
what are we gonna do? We're gonna have to fight.
Well, here's all right. Not to get too deep into this Street Fighter rabbit hole. Bison's been dead since I believe either the 5th one. And the cool thing that I do like about the video game and the comic is that they do continue on like this continuity, that they're introducing like new fighters all the time, like legacy characters are getting older. You know, like it. At least they continue the story. Do they take a long time to like come out with a new game or a comic? They do, but it's always like, hey, we're going to try something new. We're going to introduce someone new, and I do respect that. Even though maybe I've got my own bias, I think this might be the one I'd try to jump in. Like I said, from a comic standpoint, the fact that we're getting art by Bingus, I'm stupid hype. And Trey did respond. He says he would get Blanca by our guy Kyle Willis, who does a lot of really good covers as well.
Okay.
What about you? Well, you got to answer the question too. What would you get on a blank Street Fighter?
I was like, only
sketch?
because like I got the free comic book day. Like sometimes I have a box of free comic book day books that are just strictly for free comic book day, and I was like just kind of looking through them, and I saw there was a Street Fighter one.
Oh, dude,
and they introduced a Dark Ken.
Oh,
so the fact that like Dark Ken has like this like
that might have been I think Super Street Fighter.
What is it called?
5. What?
What is it called when like Ryle becomes dark? What is that power called?
The Dark Odo.
Dark Odo. So the Dark Odo Ken, I would do that one.
Okay.
And then he would be fighting
Evil Ken. Yeah.
So even Evil Ken, and then who would fight Luke Cage?
Luke Cage.
Who's the Mortal Kombat dude that I'm thinking of?
Jax?
No. He's the dude that's like the movie star. I think it's Luke Cage.
Johnny Cage.
Johnny Cage.
That's good.
Ken versus Johnny Cage.
That's good.
Because they're both like, the actors and everything.
Blonde.
Now, who would get to do it?
White.
Blonde, white, yeah. Damn, I don't even know who I would do it.
I think recency bias. I'm just gonna say
Bengal, not Bengal.
Daniel Warren Johnson would probably kill that.
Oh my god,
He'd probably kill that.
100%. Yo, I would have Daniel Warren Johnson and Villalobos Varamos.
I know you're talking.
You know what I'm
about.
talking about? Yeah. So he would basically do Johnny Cage, and then Daniel Warren Johnson would do Ken.
Okay.
Those two fighting.
So the interesting thing to go back to this previews is every issue the art changes, and that's why I'm very hyper focused on getting issue 1. But it looks like it's gonna be a 4-issue miniseries or a 6. In every issue, the art changes.
Why hasn't Udon become like an animation studio?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Like, why haven't they done like their own version of like Street Fighter anime?
That's a good question, man. We're overdue for one. All right, next item on my list. Next item. All right, I'm going to switch it up. I'm moving away from books now. I'm going to get into like apparel and other stuff.
All right.
Because you've been kind of putting up or mentioned a few times that you feel like there's not enough shirts, apparel, and whatnot.
Never.
Pardon me. In previews, and I'm surprised that you didn't pick any of these right here on page 493. They've got a couple of T-shirts, all of these being Marvel T-shirts. But this top one right here with like the different character faces. And it's kind of like, for the most part, it's like a lot of retro designs. I mean, you could tell like that would be like Jim Lee right there. I think that's John Byrne. You got like Kirby. You got McFarlane.
What they should do is, honestly, they could have done this, and I would buy it because of the fact that it's such a popular thing, is a corner box.
Damn.
They did a corner box pocket tee, and then in the back.
Sick.
Actually, you know what? Like, the corner, like you can do a pocket tee where it just gives you like 25 cents.
Yeah,
comic books approved. And in the back, you give me a 6-face corner box.
That'd be tight.
That's what I want.
That sounds exceptional. I will say this is a good filler for the moment. I do wish they would serve this shirt in black, though. It's in this like gray, and you know I'm gonna sweat right through it.
Oh yeah, for let me tell you right now, gray's whole like besides white and gray, those are like the most famous sweat stains I've ever had in my life.
It's like
a gray shirt. I don't know what it is. I put on a gray shirt, and it's like, oh, you sweating.
And I mean, I'm not trying to overgeneralize, but it's like, yo, come on, you know what type of people rock these shirts, right? Give us some slack, bro. You know we sweat a lot, right?
Yeah, come on, man. If it's gonna be in a loot crate, you better give me like some sort of like.
Now that is a sick shirt, and I think it's like $20-25. So I wanted to mix up my list. So that's one of them. All right, another one on my list is on page 505, and it is. I mean, either one of these could work, but the fact that we're getting a Scotty Young Moon Knight little miniature statue.
Honestly, like
these don't miss.
No, they do not.
These just have not missed.
So good. They've all been very, very good. If you could pick one, who would it be?
One, I think
one Scotty Young, but like I'm telling you right now, like from inception to concept to that, like from idea to concept, like who would you want to see him do?
Because he's kind of done everybody, right?
He's done everybody, but he hasn't. Like a lot of them hasn't been made. I mean, he's done a lot of Spider-Man, but what Spider-Man suit would you want? Like, if you were to get a Spider-Man, would you do the classic?
No. You know who I'd want him to do? Because I have one of his pins, like those Scotty Young, like mini
Daredevil yellow and red.
That's actually pretty good. But I wouldn't mind if they did a statue of the Cyclops. Of his Scotty Young Cyclops.
Oh, like him looking up, shooting, or just
because his lasers are always so short, and I think that's kind of.
That's what I like about it. Okay,
what
Cyclops
about you?
Is good.
What about you? Scotty Young statue. Go.
Scotty Young. Oh, whew. If I could have one, it would probably be an Iron Fist one.
Oh, that's a good one.
But I want the not the Danny Rand, but the other guy. Who's the guy with the guns?
Oh, Iron Fist with 2 guns.
The guy.
Has he ever? And I don't think Scotty Young has actually done that character.
No.
Oh,
if I can have anybody,
you went ahead and came from left field.
Iron Fist with the 2
Orson
guns.
Randall.
Yep, I would have Orson Randall just like that, like Scotty Young with 2 guns.
Let's see. All right, if I type in, I'm gonna type in Iron Fist Scotty Young. I'm gonna see if he's ever done.
If you can do a Scotty Young versus, would you rather have Scotty? Like, if you can do a statue, would you rather do a Scotty Young Spider-Man versus Green Goblin, Colossus versus Juggernaut?
That one right there.
Or Gambit versus...
You know what? If
Magneto.
If I may, I think I'm going to answer this question in a way that ties it back to the other one that you just said, right? I think Scotty Young would be a great choice to do that Street Fighter sketch variant, but in his version of Gym Fighters.
Oh, the Pocket Fighters of it?
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah. I mean, they're already basically like,
Listen, when you interview him again, like that, like, does anybody have any questions for Scotty Young?
But imagine like these, the Pocket Fighter done in Scotty Young style. I mean, dude, come on. Now I kind of want to play Pocket Fighter. I remember when I learned how to put emulators on the school computer. Dude, I played so much Pocket Fighter in computer class.
Our teacher, one of our computer teachers, I remember he taught us how to do that.
I kind of want to see if Pocket Fighter is available for like.
I think Pocket Fighter.
Switch.
It has to be. It has to be one of those like classic, like they've like redone it.
Oh my god!
Damn,
Don't get me started.
So
I love Pocket Fighter. Okay.
Are those called what's the correct term for those? Chibis?
Chibi. Yeah, I think Chibi would be a good name.
Chibis.
Ah, so good. Okay, and the last item on my list is on this page right here. But it is this badass.
Oh my god! How many Batmans? How many? Oh, all right, him putting on gloves. Bro, I've seen doctors that do that right before they do a vasectomy. That's like right before, like, that's the thing that they do. They're like, turn your head to the left.
Yeah, that's funny.
Turn it to the right.
He does look like he's about to go ahead and perform. Yeah, a checkup. But I'm talking about this DC Comics Batman, the Bronze Age Art FX statue at a whopping. This might be the most expensive thing on my wish list. It's a $160 statue. Actually, you know what? That fucking
the autograph book. That Silver Surfer is way more expensive.
Yeah. But this Batman statue is tight. First of all, it looks like the Neil Adams version of Batman.
It's like a Japanese Neil Adams.
Yeah.
Like if Neil Adams went to Japan and studied for a little bit.
It's a color, right? It's the blue gray suit with the yellow emblem and
black.
What?
Now that we're on this, what is your favorite version of Batman colors?
Blue, gray.
Okay,
yellow.
here's your point. All right, blue, gray. All right,
gray.
So that genuineness.
Yeah.
All right.
What about yours?
All black. Dang.
Which one is that one?
Just black. Just like here's the thing. My favorite costume is the Batman animated series, the new version.
Oh, the new Adventures.
The new Adventures where they're like, oh, we're gonna make the black bat simplistic. We're gonna give him a gray. Like to me, like it's
Bruce
a really
we about to make.
Man,
God, yeah, that's a good suit.
That is an amazing. The gold and black. Yeah, to me that's really really good.
It's classic. But you're right. The black and gray. I don't know, black tea.
that is my favorite version of that one. And like I would honestly say like Ben
that's a clean one.
Ben Affleck to me is the closest that we'll get to the Batman animated series. As far as like being like a Batman.
I feel like weird bringing praising Ben Affleck's Batman, but I do agree he was the look for his Batman. I did enjoy the look.
Mm-hmm.
Oh damn, you're right. He's wearing the
the blue and gray. Ben Affleck.
He wasn't in the blue and gray, but also the regular black and.
Well, that was another thing that I liked about it too. Is I like the fact that like him and Diana had a thing, And that's one relation. Like this is me like in my reality TV bag.
Okay.
Like as far as like if I had to like push Batman into any type of relationship, I would like him to explore what would it be like if him and Wonder Woman got together.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, you got the whole like mortal and goddess thing. Ben Affleck's got some great hair.
Oh, he has a great chin too.
This is quickly become.
Dude.
All right,
have you? Okay, when you were watching the Super Bowl, did you see his Dunkin' Donuts commercial?
Yes, I did.
Like I was like, oh my god,
I enjoyed it all the way up until J-Lo showed up.
What? Why? I love
know,
the fact
man.
when she comes like, what are you doing? He's
I guess I think in my head that Ben Affleck is too good for J-Lo.
Damn.
In my head, I was like, Ben, come on, bro. You know, it's weird. All right, the way they got these pictures set up in Google Images, Ben Affleck, and then you look at Robert Pattinson. I appreciate that, like they're both unique Batmans, but I think Ben Affleck, just the look to him, he nails it, man. He got a great butt chin in that. Right,
great butt chin. I don't know, like I rewatched a couple of the movies, and I was like, Ben Affleck, you actually really killed it. Like you did a good job.
It's definitely not Ben Affleck's fault, is what I say. I guess I'll say it's like I think there's a lot more to. Oh, went the wrong page. But to go back to my,
it's like when people are like, "Yo, listen, I don't have any money because it's all tied up in alimony or whatever the fuck it is." It's like, hey Ben, like where do you be?
This movie could be so much better, but it's tied up in a bunch of bullshit. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna say it. This statue is awesome. Obviously, my favorite suit, and dude, he's just getting ready for action. Now, granted, you do raise a good point. It does look like this Batman statue is getting ready to perform.
Like, yeah, I do the same thing when I'm about to wash the bathroom. Like, and I put on my yellow gloves. Like that is the
Give a little
I do.
snap,
like, snap.
All right.
Do you wash the bathroom with gloves, or like you freehand that stuff?
If it's been a minute since I washed it or cleaned the bathroom, I'll go ahead and put on the gloves.
Okay.
But if I'm like just doing a little spruce cleanup, a little touch up, I got some people coming over, let me go and clean up a quick bit. Nah.
Okay.
It's like, I believe in my germs or some shit. Okay, Drew, we can't close it out until we hear from our guy Ben, because there's no better person to chime into a conversation about previews.
I can't wait to see what he picks.
Than a guy who runs a comic shop and he's handing these previews out like candy to get people's money. And
if you guys haven't been to the comic book shop, Ben has upgraded or has done some different stuff to it, and like it looks amazing. Like I don't know how he's able to fit all the stuff in there, but he does it so beautifully.
You're right, he does. And I wasn't able to get the page number for his, so I'm gonna try to look for it while playing his voicemail. But here is Ben to tell us what is his pick from this month's previous catalog. Here he is.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, I go by the name Ben K, representing Gotham City Limit in Jacksonville, Florida. And this is the one thing you shouldn't miss in this month's Previews magazine. Marvel Select presents Sue Storm, a.k.a. the Invisible Woman, Collector's Action Figure, a Diamond Select toy release. This June, I'd argue the most important member of the Fantastic Four will finally be a Marvel Select figure. And they spared no expense on this beauty. She comes with interchangeable invisible hands, invisible half legs, and her classic forming invisible force field. We all know Marvel Selects blow Marvel Legends out of the water for basically the same price. So this is a true winner. Marvel Select Sue Storm. Get to a local shop near you and get one ordered. And that's how you take it to the limit.
I was so...
Well, I'm still Ben K, representing Gotham City Limit in Jacksonville, Florida. Remember, with great power comes great responsibility, and always take it to the limit.
I think this is the one time I don't want to go to the limit with Ben. Like I typically
agree with him. I want Ben to basically speak at my wedding.
First of all, let me go to and acknowledge that he picked a very Ben always have you noticed for the past 4 or 5 previews episodes that we've done where we have Ben chime in and make a selection, Ben does a really good job of not picking the same thing. And for the most part, me and you tend to get a little close to sometimes we have overlap. Yeah. But Ben normally finds a way to pick something interesting.
What was that one that he did? The Lino? Like the Lino Thunder? Oh, there it is right there.
So on page 504.
Damn, she looks like a Japanese...
right? It looks like the Kutabuyo statue.
Almost like that. legs for days. Like, damn. All right, cool.
Or you can get rid of the legs and just go half invisible one.
Bet,
She
all
looks her demeanor in this. Now, granted, I will
Looks
say,
like a J. Scott Campbell cover.
yeah, her demeanor looks cool. The suit is really good though. Just like a nice, clean, light blue with the black. Great contrast.
She
But
should have came with more mother things.
what the fuck does that
mother
mean? Like a
things.
fucking gloves or something? What the hell does that
No,
mean?
no. It's just like, like a face. Like, like the one where it's like, the mom.
Oh,
like
like
you know
a-
what I'm saying?
like a nice
mama,
one.
Like a pointing finger, like kind of angry.
Okay.
Like it just like one of those like
You
hands
better
on the hips thing.
Okay, I like it. A little assertive. Okay, a little sexist, but all right, not too bad.
How's it sexist? She's a mom.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. You're right.
She's probably like this. Reed, what are you doing? Honey, I'm doing my scientist stuff. She's like, come to bed.
Okay, all right. I'll let you. I'm gonna let the listeners decide on that one. But what I won't agree with is Ben saying
Marvel's
that Marvel
Select
Select
are the
blows
best.
Marvel Legends up
Nah,
the line? I don't know
hell
about
no.
that,
Marvel.
Ben.
Here's the thing. Marvel Selects like they're like, oh, we'll make the dopest toes ever, but the toys ever, not toes. We'll make the dopest toys ever, but we will just make them to the shittiest quality.
You know,
You never know if it's gonna break.
yeah. And if I may, I think. What am I trying to say?
How many people
Diamond
have
Select,
okay.
I think, is a little misleading. I think when you see them, they look great. I do admit, detail wise,
But you don't
they
give them to a
look-
kid. You do not give them to a kid. Like, they're not toys. Like, honestly, like, here's the thing. It looks like a toy. It's not a toy.
All right, like I said, detailing, they look good. And I think the size of them is a little deceiving because you would think that, the quality is going to be really good because it's a little bigger.
And we learned early
Oh.
on and hard way.
What was the...
Spider-Mans. The Spider-Mans. They were coming out with the spectacular Spider-Mans. The Spider-Man iron suit when he had the red suit. That was the only point. That was the only time that you could have gotten the red Spider-Man suit. I distinctly remember. There was the anti-venom.
see if I can find
There was an anti-venom Marvel Select.
Okay.
There was the Iron Spider-Man Marvel Select.
Okay.
And for a while, these things were super expensive. And you're like, all right, cool. But they would break and fall apart. Like,
All right, so you can get this...
dude, back in the back
$33.
yeah, discontinued by manufacturer. Yo, back in the day, that was like $100 figure.
What was the... you said the red suit Spider-Man?
Oh, okay. No, the one that was the most famous is the Ultimate Iron Man.
Okay, let me see if I can find that.
Ultimate Iron Man was probably one of my favorite ones. And you know what it is? Like, it came with like a whole thing. Yo,
this
these
one
yeah,
is
and then here's the thing:
badass.
when these came out, these were the only time that you were able to get these figures. So you're like, all right, cool, I'm gonna buy these. And I remember when the first prints were so expensive.
Damn.
Like that figure at some point, like we were go to cons, like people were asking like $80 for that. But since then they've reprinted them, so you don't have to get them.
Reprinted
Did they reprinted them? Do you remember yeah, like $23. At one point,
right.
that thing was like an $80 figure. Do you
Damn.
remember the Ultimate Wolverine versus Magneto?
Bro, I like the fact that you sent me down this little rabbit hole.
Dude, Diamond Select, Ultimate
all right.
Wolverine versus Magneto, and then after that, to Punisher with the pinball machine.
I remember that one. That one is iconic and one of the most bloodiest toys. If you see someone with that toy, I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. I've never seen this Ultimate Wolverine.
Never
and
seen that
Magneto
one? Okay, do you remember the Green Goblin and the Spider-Man figure?
So you basically get two figures in one. You get Ultimate Wolverine and then Magneto.
But they don't move. They don't
punch.
move. That's it. Like those you did.
That goatee is fucking crazy in
Oh
Wolverine.
my god, that is such
That
a
was the
fucking 2000s for real soul
All right,
patch.
give me one more to look up. One more to look up.
We are gonna look up. What did I just say?
DC Select.
The Marvel Select. It's not going to be the Punisher one. Don't look up that one.
Okay.
My God, what is the most expensive one? Damn, I just had it in my head. I was just asking you to look it up. Okay,
Right.
so there's the Punisher and the pinball.
Uh-huh.
There is the... Just look up the Punisher and pinball one, and then if I can figure it out, I will
And you're
say
right.
it again.
I meant to say Diamond Select. Oh, man. Yeah. I remember seeing this so many times at Universe
100. Oh my God.
and thinking it was so fucking like, oh, man, they're pushing the limit.
You're
Oh,
like,
whoa.
yo, it's so expensive. It's so cool.
And just so gruesome,
Here's the
man.
thing. I'll tell you right now, the Hulks and the Things and the Juggernauts are all
You were
been
just about
very,
to be-
very well.
Okay, you beat me to the punch. I think Diamond Select kills it with big characters,
big guys,
the robots, because the that Juggernaut figure. I think I had it at some point. That's a big boy.
Green Goblin and Spider-Man. That's what it was. The Green Goblin, Spider-Man. The Green Goblin, Spider-Man. And you know what that's for.
Yeah, it's Green Goblin is got Peter Parker like roped up from that classic cover without his mask. Let me see.
The famous cover.
Yeah. Yes, indeedy. This one right here. Yeah, where he's dragging Peter Parker.
Yeah,
honestly,
I don't want it. Here's the thing, that's
classic
the thing.
Green Goblin.
I did want that. Like that's one of my favorite covers of all time. I like that fit. You can easily make that. That was one of the ones I was like,
recreates the classic cover of Amazing Spider-Man number 39.
Mine broke. Like I had it, but it broke. So,
damn it!
God, Green Goblin's so good.
I might get this figure.
Make it your Heroes Con search.
All right, that's fair.
That's one of the ones you can find definitely loose. You can definitely find that at a flea market.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Look at the shoes. What are those? Look at those shoes, bro.
Do you think? And Green Goblin's face looks like he's asking him, what are those? And Peter Parker's like, motherfucker, they're my church shoes. You robbed me at church.
So good.
All right, but Ben, fantastic choice as always.
Oh, I see what you did there.
You know?
Fantastic choice.
Just, hard disagree about the Diamond Select over Marvel Legends. There's some cases and instances, but, we can talk about it.
Yeah.
But anyways, listeners, I think that, I know for a fact that brings us to the end of our list. Me and Drew have both shared our wish list for this month's previews catalog. Ben chimed in. What more could you want from us, all right? What you can do in this instance, though, is if you have picked up a copy of previews, if you're a Patreon subscriber, I already shared the digital versions of these previews. Let us know what you found, all right? What were some of the cool toys, comics, books, memorabilia, paraphernalia, all that good stuff? What were some of the cool stuff that you found in this month's previews catalog? I want to hear from you guys, all right? We've been talking for this past hour and some change. It's your turn to chime in. Join the conversation. Let us know what you found in this previews catalog. Shoot us an email at theshortboxjacks@gmail.com or hit us up on Instagram or Twitter. We'd love to hear from you guys. But besides that, that is your episode for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. If you're watching the video, we appreciate you even more, all right? If you're a Patreon subscriber, we absolutely appreciate you even the mostest, all right? I don't even know if that's a good word to use, but we love you guys, and we appreciate your support. Thanks for letting us talk about all the cool stuff we could only wish to afford. There might be some things we actually do pick up. But yeah, thanks so much for hanging out. And a big shout outs to Trey and Zach. What the hell?
Sorry.
I'm over here trying to outro.
My bad. I'm so sorry.
The show yet.
I'm so sorry.
Big shout outs to Trey and Zach for hanging out in the chat. And yeah, in the meantime, follow us on social media to stay up to date with what we got going on. If you like episodes like this, look, this was the outlier. Maybe I think this was the outlier, right? I shared it for everyone because, I had some interviews fall through, but it's not always the case, right? These are normally Patreon exclusives. You know my deal. To hear and enjoy Drew's hot takes, rants, and opinions, you got to pay, all right? So check out our Patreon if you want more bonus content or if you want to support the show. We'd appreciate that. Most importantly, take care of yourselves. Have a great day, and please continue to make mine and yours short box. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.